Him versus Ciryl Gane, that's very interesting.
For sure. And I know the power is going to translate over to heavyweight. That's not going anywhere. He'll be able to flatline heavyweights.
100%, especially with zero weight cut.
Yeah. He's probably 230, 240 walking around. 230 something maybe.
He's 240.
Yeah, dude, come on.
He's 240 walking around.
That's a legit heavyweight. He's
a
big,
legit
tall,
heavyweight.
long.
Fucking guy fought at 85.
But so is Ciryl, man.
Cyryl's good.
An athlete heavyweight, not just a big guy fighting at heavyweight. He's a legit heavyweight.
To be fair, that's all Alex Pereira's done, right? He had a quick rise through the middleweight division for Alex Pereira, and since then, it was Pereira time. Anytime he fought, he was the main event on the pay-per-view. The whole world went into a frenzy. Channels all over the place, knockouts galore, and a schedule that was insane, right? So he deserves all the accolades. And I know in the past, I might have bet against him because the first time Magomed Ankalaev beat him, I thought the possible anxiety from fighting Pereira and the power, that's gone. He's going to be more aggressive this time and better with the wrestling. But he got smoked. He got smoked in 69 seconds or something like that. So that's why I picked against him. I'm not hating on the guy. What he's done is phenomenal. If he beats or loses to Ciryl Gane, who does he fight next? Well, he still thinks he's got a good chance of facing John Jones because John Jones, Dana talked about it recently. He said he's done. He's got arthritis and all this. And John Jones came out and had a bit of a tweet and delete storm on Twitter, right? You never know. John Jones might come back because, as Pereira said, he's under contract. They're not going to release him from contract. And if John Jones gets that itch and gets that scratch, listen, I'd still love to see it. And Pereira still wants to fight John Jones. And that would be something unbelievable. And if Pereira goes off and becomes a 3-weight division champion, right? John Jones might want to come back, and Dana and the UFC and Hunter and everyone might go, you know what? He can be a liability, but dude, we got...
Yeah, this got to be Cyryl's last crack at a title, right? Like, this will be his 5th chance at an interim or undisputed. He won the interim one against Derek Lewis, but the rest is being, no contests or losses. I know the division is thin, and I know it's rough, but, like, I can't imagine a world where he gets a 6th chance if he loses this.
Yeah, and that too, we just spoke about it with the first fight. Again, when the division is rough, it just makes it look like, the title fights aren't as exciting because the rest of the division is rough. So it almost looks like, well, who else is there to fight for this except for these two guys? So there is a little bit of that involved in this fight. But again, I don't want to take anything away from the fight because, like I said, Alex is probably going to go down as the greatest fighter we've ever seen if he can pull this off. Ciryl Gane is an absolute stud, and he's capable of being great. He hasn't really done that and showed us that yet in the big moments. So because he hasn't showed us in the big moments, that's why I'm not putting this higher. He hasn't done that, but he has the potential to do that now. That they fought, like, who has Alex fought that moves like Ciryl Gane? Like, we don't even know how. I mean, maybe we can go back to his kickboxing days and see something, but we haven't seen it in MMA. And then for Ciryl Gane, like, we haven't seen him face a guy quite like this, right? And the only thing that we've seen him face that was similar to this, it's not in style, but it's in aura, John Jones, and he completely folded. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on fight, and this is in the White House too, man. So that's another factor for Ciryl Gane that I'm a little concerned with, because if he can't deal with, like, being at the White House and fighting a big fight like this, then man, like, he just he's not built for this.
Nobody predicted this matchup, and yet here we are, Alex Pereira versus Ciryl Gane at the White House. Experts are already divided on how this fight will unfold and what the interim title represents. Some believe Pereira's knockout power will be the deciding factor, while others argue that Gane's speed and technical striking could make all the difference. When two of the best strikers in the world face off on such a massive stage, it becomes less about pure skill and more about who can handle the pressure of the moment. This is shaping up to be a high-stakes battle where a single mistake could determine the outcome.
Question outside your own fight. You've always been very, very staunchly in the belief that interim champion is a champion.
Facts.
So does that mean guaranteed Alex Pereira goes up to heavyweight?
He's a champion. He's a champion.
3-weight head champion.
Fuck interim. Like, you can't tell me a guy gets a belt. Like, interim, look up the word interim, what it means. In the meantime, in the interim, he is the champion. So, as well, like, my belts have how many rubies on them. People try and, like, discredit it and be like, oh, well, one of them was interim. I'm like, well, come take it away. Come take it away from me. But yeah, he's gonna be the champion, and then he's gonna have a super fight with John Jones, and that'll be a big ass fight too. But that's still the White House.
You should be negotiating for John Jones then, because it doesn't sound like they're getting to the right money there.
Really, they'll find a way. The UFC and the brass over there, they always, and the fighters as well, they butt heads or their managers. But we always get there in the end.
As Pereira prepares to face Gane against the iconic White House backdrop, there is more at play than just an exciting matchup. Chael Sonnen highlights a larger trend in combat sports, where the pure desire to compete can sometimes give way to outside influences and financial interests. Using examples like Aspinall and John Jones, Sonnen points out how quickly priorities in the sport can shift. Additionally, questions around interim titles and legitimacy loom over this fight, raising debates about whether the winner will earn a true path to an undisputed championship or something further removed.
The storylines going into this, I mean, Ciryl Gane, I have a real concern for Tom right now. And I am on Tom's side. I want to make sure my words are clear. But I have a real concern because he is scratching the surface of a road that so many guys go down and they never come back. 1 year ago today, Tom wants to compete and he doesn't understand it. John wants a bunch of money. He's looking at the UFC going, you got a contract with the guy, get him in the ring. And that mindset appears to be gone. All of a sudden, it's not about competition. Now it's about money. And now all of a sudden, it's not about, hey, guys, thanks for everything you've done for me. It's, hey, guys, I'm being told by other people you haven't done enough for me. When you go down that road, there's no coming back. And I only share that with you. It's very relevant. As we go into Pereira versus Gane, the story of the White House is that we could have our first ever champ. But people are saying no. They're saying the interim belt doesn't count, and that's not a fight that I want to have.
Sonnen also emphasizes that history has a way of repeating itself. Titles can be elevated, champions questioned, and victories reinterpreted over time. If one fighter emerges as the undisputed champion, the significance could be enormous, especially considering how quickly past wins and defenses can be debated. On a card already filled with intrigue, this matchup has the potential to overshadow every other fight, turning a single result into a defining moment for the division.
I'm going to put my sword down. Apparently, I'm the only one that care. I don't care what comes in front of world champion. If it ends in world champion, I believe it counts. But if our community doesn't, fine. I'm just here to tell you history is a way to repeat itself. And when people like to say that Tom is the undisputed champion, they have very short-term memories. Because if I was to say, did he win that? I go, are you sure? I say, did he defend that? Are you sure? Like, people would have to kind of remember and go, well, no, I guess he was an interim and I guess he was elevated. Right thing to do. But if history does repeat itself and Tom does go down this road, if Tom doesn't come back, the significance of Ciryl versus Pereira is going to be huge. The significance of that fight, if one ends up elevated to undisputed champion, which is what just happened to us 5 months ago in the very division. There is so much on this card, but sometimes it comes out.
Michael Bisping adds further analysis, breaking down Pereira's first fight under his new deal against Gane for the interim heavyweight title. While the hype surrounding Pereira is real, Bisping stresses the importance of focusing on Gane. The matchup is tough but winnable, and the contrast in styles makes it especially compelling. Unlike bouts dominated by grappling, this fight promises a pure striking contest. With both fighters capable of explosive moments on their feet, Bisping predicts a striking showcase that could keep fans on the edge of their seats from start to finish.
Fight deal. Of course, the first fight on that deal will be against Ciryl Gane for the heavyweight title, the interim heavyweight title. Now, the old cliche in combat sports is I don't want to look past my opponent because, you know, I'm focused on Ciryl Gane, and he should be because that's a tough fight. But it's a very winnable fight. It's a very compelling, fun matchup. A lot of people came out talking shit to me because I said it might be a better matchup than John Jones. The reason I said that, and it's pretty goddamn obvious, is because it will be a striking affair, right? People didn't love the BMF because Charles Oliveira dominated the fight on the ground. And more than likely, I'm not being disrespectful to Pereira, you got to think that's what John Jones would do. He would take him down. And if Pereira could defend the submissions, it'll look like the BMF, right? And everyone booed. Everyone talked shit. Even Dana White didn't like it.
Reflecting on the fight, it's clear that the striking clash between Pereira and Gane is one for the memory books. Gane's path remains uncertain. Whether he wins or loses, he is chasing a potential showdown with John Jones. A victory here could elevate him to a 3-division champion, a milestone that could make him one of the most accomplished fighters in UFC history. Regardless, any fight involving Pereira is now destined to be a blockbuster. Fans can expect nothing less than high stakes, headline-making action that could define the careers of both fighters.